We have two different versions of a self that lies inside each and every one of us. And I love to call them the subconscious self and the conscious self.
Okay, now wait a minute. Before we dive into this, you should know by now that what you've seen up until this point isn't the real video. Well, at least I hope you can tell by now.
Hey guys, and welcome to the very second part of this mini series all about the brain, controlling the F out of your brain, and reclaiming your power once and for all so you can manifest the dream life that you've always wanted for yourself. Let's go! Hey. I am so excited for this because I did actually try to fit this topic in particular into the original first video. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend that you do, because you need to understand the very basics when it comes to the brain, why it controls you the way it does, in order to understand this part. This series in particular was actually supposed to be a 3-part mini-series, but I ended up having to make it a 4-part mini-series just because there is just too much juicy details that I gotta dive into when it comes to you learning how to control your brain once and for all, take control of your life, and get whatever the F you want out of your life in totality. You are about to learn how our mind really influences our life, our perception, our perspective of life as a whole, and we're gonna really get to understand why we do things the way we do things, why we think the things we think, what made us really adopt the core values we might have, or our belief systems, our values in life. We're gonna get to really understand where all those things came from, how they even were built, and what is going on beneath the surface of us, which, spoiler alert, is exactly what we're gonna be diving into right now. So let's get into this right now. Let's go! So what I mean by this is, picture this. So you know when you're doing something and you know that you're doing it, but it's like you're not mindfully aware of the actions that you are doing. It kind of feels like as if you're on autopilot. Well, that's actually exactly what I mean by the subconscious self, and that's the subconscious self at work in that moment in time. But then there's the conscious self, and it's the one that's fully aware and it's making deliberate decisions for you 24/7 in life. Your conscious self comes into play when, let's say you're in class and you're there brainstorming, writing things down, figuring out a problem of some sort. That's actually the conscious self at play. So there's two different sides to the same coin when it comes to the subconscious and conscious self. And I want you to really break this down in the sense that the subconscious self is the emotional / survival based version of you, and the conscious self is that cognitive layer of you. And exploring how these two selves work together within our psyche, and even sometimes against each other, is the very key that's going to help shape you into who you are and the version of you that you want to shape yourself into becoming. And it's what's going to help you ultimately navigate life. And if, let's say, you haven't been able to fully grasp the concept that I'm trying to break down for you, I want you to see it as such. The subconscious self works quietly behind the scenes, kind of like an invisible assistant, storing all sorts of stuff from our past experiences, like what we believe about ourselves and memories that pack an emotional punch, and those automatic reactions that we don't even realize we're doing. And what I mean by automatic reactions, I want you to really use this as an example. Have you ever gone through a conversation with somebody and let's say you're getting into an argument, things are getting heated, and you explode, you shut down, you go off on them in tangents, and you don't know or realize what you're saying and the emotional punch that it's packing to that person. And then after it happens, you see that person, they're very hurt by what you say, and let's say you don't reflect on it, and that person reaches back out to you and tells you it was very hurtful, but you don't understand why it was hurtful. You can't comprehend their perspective, their side of things, because let's say you're in that survival based mechanism still. This is all exactly why the subconscious and conscious self is so important, an important concept to really grasp in life, because this is what's going to help you be able to have awareness so those moments don't typically happen in your life moving forward. Because I know we have all probably sabotaged one relationship at some point in our lives in some way, shape, or form. We were part of what made it crumble, and I don't want you guys to go through that because it sucks, right? It really sucks. But what I mean by this, to take the concept even further, is when it comes to belief systems got ingrained into our minds, into our psyche, and they were the systems that were formed from past experiences accumulated over time from your upbringing and especially cultural influences as a whole. You can actually say the mammalian layer of the brain, or the subconscious self, is responsible responsible for creating these things that we call belief systems in our life today. All the belief systems, all the views that you have in life, all your opinions as well, all these fixed rigidity things that you add value to in your life came from a bundle of experiences that you've gone through in life or witnessed in your life. And this is what helped make your brain shape it into the systems and beliefs that you have today. So let's say you have core values. You know, if you could list out your top 4 core values that you can think of on the spot right now, you can pause this video if you got to think about them and ask yourself, why are these things so important to me that I can't swap them out for another core value? Because we all have a lot of core values and we probably have more than 4. But the thing is, what I'm saying, why did your brain ultimately list those 4 out to be the most important ones for you? And I bet you guys, as I'm asking you this question, you guys are probably, or even maybe your brain's doing it on its own, it's running through some emotional memories, emotional experience that you've gone through in your life that have led you to having these core values to date. So let me give you an example. For me, honesty is the best policy. That is one of my most important core values in my life. And it's because in my past, I've had experiences where I've been lied to. I used to be the liar. I used to do a lot of deception out of fear of getting hurt, rejected, or abandoned. But that is why I see that as such an important core value, because of the experiences that shape me into who I am. Does that make sense, guys? Because hopefully that's making you guys really get a nice grasp on why that subconscious self is so freaking important. Another really good way you guys can see the subconscious and the conscious self in life is also by understanding that saying as above, so below, or how your inner world reflects your outer world. Your subconscious self ultimately is going to reflect the conscious self in a way, because the subconscious self is the one that's really responsible for creating our perception and the way that we're seeing our reality. It's the thing that kind of whispers into the conscious self's ear and says, hey, so this is how you're supposed to see this, and this is the only way you should be seeing it. But here's the little kicker. Your conscious self holds a lot of power. It does rule a lot of area in your brain in general. But even though it does, sucks to say that other 20% of the emotional part, of the survival-based part, the primitive part of your brain, that's the thing that has the say. It's the thing that's actually in the center. So thus, it's going to start sending messages, signals to the rest of your brain in itself. And the same goes when it comes to habitual patterns, automatic responses in the body, and protective mechanisms. All these things came from the same thing. They came from emotional experiences, traumatic or very pleasant. They came from things that said, this is good and this is bad. This is great. This is horrible. I love this experience. I want to have a similar one again, and I never want to go through this again, and I will make sure every bone in my body that I don't. That is basically what the mammalian layer as well as the reptilian layer working together does to help you shape your reality. So what's the thing? Why does this suck for us? Why is it making you stay where you are if you're asking yourself that? Like, why am I learning this? The reason for that is because if we are allowing the subconscious self to have a nice reign over our lives in the way that it does, this also means that everything that we're experiencing right now, we are perceiving it through the eyes of wounds. We are perceiving it through the eyes of a filter, and we are not really seeing things in the way that they're meant to be seen in. We're not letting ourselves see the doors that are open for us to go for the taking. We have so many opportunities to create the life that we want, but we're not seeing them. They're not clicking because we're not really aware of them just yet. Our brain, the way that it is programmed in this very state, is not built to be able to see that opportunity right in front of us. The subconscious self keeps us in this box, and we'll keep ourselves in that box for as long as possible until we have a sense of questioning the box, or allowing the cognitive layer of our brain to question, why are we in here? Why am I doing this? What is the point of being in this cycle? And the whole purpose of being alive right now is for us to evolve as humans in totality. But the thing is that there's a lot of people that are willing to stay the same and just be just that for the rest of their lives. But those are the same people that aren't going to get to experience the dream life that they've always wanted for themselves. And I'm here to tell you, my loves, if you're one of those people, now is your time to step up to the plate, or at least take action to prevent it from being a pattern when it comes for generations moving forward. And I know you guys think this is like the worst of the worst when it comes to how much the brain can control us, especially the subconscious self. But oh my God, guys, I'm only starting here, because your brain doesn't really understand the things that will give you good security, good comfort, good safety in life, healthy, in other words. And it might start taking you down paths that might give you a pleasurable experience, but it's not the pleasurable experience that leads you to becoming the best version of yourself.
Darn. Oop. Have you seen the first part of this mini-series? You probably already know why I had to stop here, right?
YouTube hates me because I'm always trying to make very long videos that are longer than 10 minutes, and because it hates me, I need to stop now because I'm trying to send out some really important informational videos here, and the algorithm I think doesn't like me right now. I'm trying to get on its good side by making these shorter videos. So yeah, I know you guys probably hate me. I had to do the same thing in the first video, but you know, this is how it's gotta be. So with that being said, I would love to hear your thoughts on what you just learned in the comments section down below. Tell me, how do you feel the subconscious and conscious self take a part in your life? And do you think that the subconscious or conscious self has a bigger reign over your life, and why? Why do you feel that way? I would love to hear your thoughts on this, and it just makes me happy seeing everyone interacting because again, I'm trying to build a community. Please subscribe if you agree with me that we all deserve to have a nice online, safe, supportive community where we can all come together to heal, work on ourselves, become the best version of ourselves, and not only that, but have everyone else cheering you on as you move through the process of your own healing journey. My YouTube channel is all about healing and helping you step into your power, helping you become the best version of yourself, and helping you rewire your inner world so your outer world can reflect exactly what you want. I'm telling you right now, if you guys choose to stop following along with this series, you're gonna be sorry. Because if you guys didn't get a taste of what's about to happen in this next video that I will upload soon, how the subconscious self can really screw you over if you let it screw you over. This series is about to get really, really, really deep with you, and I think it's really gonna help you be able to understand why your self-sabotage became self-sabotage in the first place. With that in mind, I send you so much unconditional love. I'm gonna keep you at the edge of your seats, guys. Have a beautiful rest of your day. You guys got this. Keep going. Believe in yourself. Everything is possible. Bye.